Never fight for her attention. Do this instead. Feeling ignored by someone you're romantically interested in may be painful, especially if you thought things were going well. The question, "Why is she ignoring me?" continues spinning in your head with no logical solution. It might make you feel worried and frustrated. But just because she isn't reacting to you doesn't mean you have to give up and let her win. But how can you use that rejection to your advantage? How can you make her come back to you pleading for your attention? By the end of this video, you will understand how to react when a woman ignores you and how to use reverse psychology to destroy her ego and make her regret her decision. 1. First, know your worth. The first step is knowing your own worth. Don't let anyone convince you otherwise, not even a woman who believes she's too good for you. You are unique, and your strengths are what make you who you are. People will begin to notice your worth if you believe in it. Remember that you are as valuable as everyone else in this world. The confidence that comes from self-awareness is what makes you appealing. And when you exude confidence, those around you begin to see you differently. They notice your strengths, charisma, and vibe. This does not imply arrogance, but rather a humble self-assurance that you bring value to the table. People, particularly the woman in question, will notice and appreciate you more as a result. 2. Don't chase her. The more you pursue someone, the faster they will flee. One of the worst things you can do if she is ignoring you is to start chasing her. This will only reinforce her ego. There is a psychological factor at work here, the scarcity principle. It basically argues that people value things that are scarce or difficult to gain. As a result, the more available you are, the less she may appreciate you. Let us look at this further. Have you ever observed how people begin to miss things only after they are gone? The same holds true for humans. She may take you for granted if you're always there, always available, and always answer within seconds. Don't get me wrong here. I'm not saying ignore her or play hard to get. Maintain a healthy balance, though. Demonstrate to her that while you are interested in her, you also have a life outside of her, one filled with hobbies, goals, and other friends. If she notices that you are not pursuing her and are instead preoccupied with your own life, it might serve as a wake-up call. She may begin to question her assumptions and realize that you are someone of value, someone worth pursuing. 3. Demonstrate your value to her. Demonstrating your value to her may be a game changer. Here's why. People frequently develop misunderstandings about others based on superficial judgments or assumptions. It's conceivable that she hasn't recognized all of your wonderful characteristics or recognized the value you offer to a relationship. Maybe you're smart or hilarious. Perhaps you're a good cook. Perhaps you're very caring and thoughtful. Make it a point to demonstrate these attributes not only to her, but to everyone around you. Allow her to see your value. However, it is important not to overdo it. There is a narrow line between demonstrating your worth and trying too hard to impress someone. It's not about bragging or boasting, but rather about being yourself and allowing your actual characteristics to shine. 4. Ignore her ego. The ego is a strange thing. The more attention you give it, the bigger it becomes. And it's typically the ego that speaks when people act like they're too good for others. So one of the most effective ways to cope with her ego is to simply ignore it. Disregarding her ego does not imply disregarding her feelings or altogether ignoring her. That would be ineffective. Instead, avoid conflicts that feed her ego. You don't have to continuously show your value to her or compete with her. This may be exhausting and detrimental to your self-esteem. Instead, strive to be the best possible version of yourself. Treat her with love and respect, like you would with any other person. If she continues to be superior, don't demean yourself by acting similarly. Stay true to yourself, and she may ultimately learn that her ego is not a determining factor of your worth. 5. Find common ground. Finding common ground with her might be an effective way to connect on a deeper level. It may be a mutual love of a certain sort of music, a passion for adventure sports, a fondness for Italian cuisine, or anything else under the sun. The aim is to discover something you both love and can talk about. Doing activities that are connected to these mutual interests can lead to some unforgettable experiences and insightful talks, allowing her to see new aspects of your personality. When you invite her over, instead of just cooking alone, encourage her to help. Invite her to join you while you go kayaking along the river. Do your best to include her in whatever you like doing. It's in these moments that she may understand you're more than just someone chasing after her. You're someone who provides value to her life. But keep in mind that the purpose here is not to pretend to be interested in things simply because she enjoys them. That's just putting on a show that will fall apart sooner or later. Find a common ground that you're actually enthusiastic about and be sincere. 6. Maintain your self-respect. This may be obvious, yet it is sometimes easier said than done. This is why it's easy to lose sight of your self-respect when you're interested in someone who believes they're too good for you. But keep in mind that your worth should never be compromised for anybody. Stand your ground if she disrespects you or treats you as less than her. Respectfully express your feelings, and if nothing changes, you might want to reconsider the relationship. You deserve to be with someone who recognizes your value and treats you as an equal. Don't accept anything less. Your dignity and self-respect are far more precious than someone else's ego-driven opinions. 7. Act as though she doesn't exist. If a lady is ignoring you, another option is to act as if she does not exist. This entails avoiding starting discussions or establishing eye contact, but rather finding someone else to talk with. If you're at a party, for example, you may strike up a discussion with someone else to avoid the woman who is ignoring you. If you must communicate with the woman, keep it professional and avoid any personal matters that could cause an argument. If she continues to ignore you, don't answer and simply walk away. Remember that it is simpler to move on than to try to remedy a situation over which you have no control. 8. Give her the silent treatment. Another option is to give her the silent treatment by not reacting to her. You're showing her that you're not going to be taken for granted. For example, if she sends you a text message and you do not react, she will begin to wonder why you are not responding. When you eventually react, keep it brief and to the point. This will demonstrate to her that you are not desperate and will not put up with her ignoring you. 9. Leave her. Another option to consider is the executive option. Leave her. This is not an easy decision, and you may question whether she might have begun bonding with you more if you had given her a chance. But you can't know that unless you live in a parallel universe timeline. So because you're on this timeline, you must do what's best for you. And if you feel you've reached your limit, sometimes the only thing left to do is to quit. Make sure you've reached an agreement with yourself about quitting this relationship before making this decision. Hope the video helped. Thanks for watching.